गदाधार सुभाषति गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासति गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 33. Hare Krishna. ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari यशोधानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोधानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रमाय जय सुदर्शन जय गौरनिताय श्री गौरनिताय जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौरहरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरहरि बोल जय गौर प्रेमानंदे श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्री प्रपाद की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वम् अस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्विषाम्। अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वम् अस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्विषाम्। अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वम् अस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्विषाम्। अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वम् अस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्विषाम्। अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वम् अस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्विषाम्। अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वमस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्विषाम्। माताजी। अपरे वसुदेवस्य देवक्यां याचितोऽभ्यगात् अजस्त्वमस्य क्षेमाय वधाय च सुरद्विषाम्। What would meaning? अपरे others. Vasudevasya of Vasudeva. Devakyam of Devaki. Yachitaha being prayed for. Abhyagat took birth. Ajaha unborn. Tvam you are. Asya of him. Kshemaya for the good. Vadhaya for the purpose of killing. Cha and Suradvisham of those who are envious of the demigods. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn. Yet you took your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. It is also said that Vasudeva and Devaki, in their previous birth as Sutapa and Prishni, underwent a severe type of penance to get the Lord as their son. And as a result of such austerities, the Lord appeared as their son. It is already declared in the Bhagavad Gita that the Lord appears for the welfare of all people of the world and to vanquish the asuras or the materialistic atheists. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी तारिणि निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणि नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामने गौरसे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त स्तुते दप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्प्रपातं ते श्रीगुरोदेन हरे कृष्णा। Welcome all of you. Srimad Bhagavatam class, Sunday morning. So I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, all the senior Vaishnavas, and all the assembled devotees, especially this Narari General Program, other seniors, to bless me so that I can speak some uh, Krishna Katha related to Kunti Maharani's prayers. These are all exalted prayers. Srimad Bhagavatam contains many prayers, and Kunti's prayers is one of the first prayers beginning in Srimad Bhagavatam. Later comes Bhishma Dev's prayers, and like that it goes on. And prayers are some actually very important sections of any literature, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, because prayers are an expression of the heart of a devotee. When the devotee pours out his heart in front of Krishna, that comes out as prayers. So we can understand the mood of a devotee, the aspirations of the devotee, the intentions of the devotee by reading these prayers. Generally, there is tendency to skip the prayers. That's what I have seen and I have experienced also, especially when it comes to long prayers. One feels, so let's skip, let go ahead, because sometimes the prayers become too technical, too philosophical. Like here, Kunti Maharani is also offering very philosophical prayers. Some are philosophical, some are very devotional. Some are glorifying Krishna, some are glorifying Krishna's energies, some shlokas glorifying Krishna's pastimes, activities, some shlokas expressing gratitude towards Krishna. So, in these prayers, actually, prayers are also, if you study the prayers systematically, there are also three categories of prayers, right? So, one of the categories of prayers is Samprarthanatmika, where a devotee is offering uh, his prarthana to the Lord. Uh, and then another category of prayer is Dainya Bodhika, where a devotee is expressing his fallen nature in front of the Lord. And there are some verses like some Amar Jivan Sada Bhaperata, that kind of song which tell the precarious situation of the jiva and then waiting for the Lord to come and rescue us. Right? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Uh, so I'm Patita and you're Patita Pavana. So Lord, come please deliver me from this material world, from my precarious situation. For Dainya Bodhika. And then there is Lalasamai, where uh, a devotee is expressing a specific desire to serve the Lord in a particular way. Right? For example, we have this song which we sing daily the night before the Lord goes to rest. Right? Radha Krishna, Pranamora, Vipula Kishore. That's a Lalsamai prayer where a devotee is expressing his desire to serve the Lord intimately. When I'll offer you chamar, I want to offer you tambul, I want to offer you a garland, like that. So the devotee is offering prayers. In morning also we sing one prayer, Tulsi Kirtan. There also we offer this. We are singing the aspiration that Ei Mora Abhilash, Vilas Kunje, Diovas, Nayane Haribo Sada Yugala Ruparashi. That Abhilasha is expressed. So that's Lalasamai. Sir, Kunti's prayer is also very important, where we can understand Krishna's tattva. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tektva deham punarjanma naiti mamaiti sorjana. So Krishna says that anybody who understands my birth and activities tatvatah as it is, then such a person becomes liberated, and he goes back to spiritual world and he doesn't have to come back again to this material world. Tektva deham punarjanma naiti. Mam eti. He comes to me and he'll never come back to this material world again. So that's what Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita. But Kunti Maharani, she is elaborating the same concept here in 4 slokas. Right? So Kunti Maharani, she is very intelligent lady because she is tattvataha understanding the concept of Krishna. So it starts with the 32nd verse, 32, 33, 34, and 35. These 4 slokas talk about Krishna's appearance. Why Krishna appears? What are the reasons? What he does after appearing in this world? All that tattvas she is explaining in detail. So today we'll try to see 32nd and 33rd verse. Of course, last class Sri Krishna touched upon it, but still I'd like to speak something on that, and then also 33rd verse. So in 32 and 33 verse, Krishna is Kunti Maharani is expressing why Krishna comes to this world, and different purposes she is quoting one after the other. In 32nd verse, she says, Kechidahu rajam jatam punyaslokasya kirtaye yadoh priyasyanvavaye malyasya vachandanam. Some people say, that's what she is telling. And she's not quoting I say. This is one another attitude which you can see in the devotees, that they don't say that I say this. They say I've heard and I'm repeating that. In fact, Krishna also uses this in Bhagavad Gita. There's one verse where Krishna says that, what is that verse? Krishna says that even the rishis, sages have told this opinion. Ahustam Rishas Sarve Devarshi Narus. No, that Arjuna is telling. That shloka is told by Arjuna. But here there's another verse told by Krishna where he is quoting the authority. In Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter it comes. So Krishna is also following this principle that how we should quote the authorities. Kunti Maharani is also quoting the authority. Kechidahu. Kechid means some people say, not ordinary people. It means learned sages, great devotees. They say, Kechidahu rajam jatam. One who is Aja has taken Janma. Aja means person who has no birth. Ja means birth. Aja means one has no birth. Ajam Jatam. So Krishna has taken birth. Why he has taken birth? Punya Shlokasya Kirtaya. To glorify his devotees. So Punya Shloka here means devotees of the Lord. Punya Shlokasya Kirtaya means to glorify the pure devotees. Krishna to glorify his own pure devotees. He comes. And specifically here, Yadoho Priyasyanvavai, because Yadu Maharaj was very dear to Krishna. So Krishna came in his dynasty and Krishna became famous as Yadava. And by getting the name Yadava, Krishna made Yaduvamsha famous for eternity. Even now we have people with surname Yadav. So that's Krishna's dynasty, right? Malyasyeva Chandanam. We'll come to that point. Oh, here the point is Ajaha takes Janma. So there's something very bewildering. Somebody who is unborn, how can he take birth? Like when you see in this material world, we all have taken birth. We have taken Janma. So we take birth and then we die. So there is birth date and there is death date. So every medicine has got a manufacturing date, manufactured on so and so date, and expiry on so and so date. Generally 3 years or 5 years they have that date. Similarly, this bodily machine also has got a manufacturing date, which we celebrate as birthday. But this also has got a expiry date. But in our case, we don't know when is that expiry date. It suddenly comes. Nobody knows about it. It suddenly comes and it takes us. So this body, we take birth in this body. If the soul takes birth, the soul is also unborn. Soul is also Aja. The soul cannot be created nor destroyed. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, right? So I was hearing Prabhupada lecture on this, where Prabhupada is telling that actually Krishna is Aja, soul is also Aja. It is not born, right? Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, Krishna had mentioned that Natvevaham jatanasam Natvam neme janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. Krishna told that all these people who have assembled in this battle of Kurukshetra, they all were present in the past, they are present now, and they'll continue to be present in the future also. Means what? The soul is eternal. Soul has no death. But the soul, when it forgets Krishna and desires to enter separately from Krishna, then he comes to this material world. And then he gets caught up in this material world made up of three modes of material: Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, and Tamaguna. And that bandhana causes future births. Right? Purushaha prakritistopi bhunkte prakritijan gunan karanam gunasangasya sad asad yoni janmasu. Like when pure water drop, it's very pure when it's in the sky, when it's falling from the cloud. But as soon as it touches any object on earth, it becomes contaminated. If it touches mud, it becomes muddy, right? So the water is pure, but it gets contaminated. Similarly, the soul is pure, Satchidananda, but when it comes to this material world with a desire to enter separately, then it gets contaminated. Three modes of material nature. So that's explained in Bhagavad Gita. And with the contact of those three modes of material nature, the soul develops specific desires. Right? So the desires to enjoy this material world. Ichha, Dvesha, Samuttayana, Dvanda, Mohina, Bharata. Right? So it develops desires to enjoy this material world. And based on those desires, Sarge, Yanti, Parantapa, it takes birth again and again in this material world. Right? So that's the so what is our disease? Our main disease is contact with the material modes. So we have got contaminated. Srila Prabhupada explains this. When we catch a virus, we get infected by the virus. Then we get the disease, the symptoms, right? So there is infection, then there are symptoms. Symptoms may be like sneezing, coughing, temperature, headache, body ache. These are the symptoms of the disease. Or what is the cause of this disease? It is the virus infection, right? Similarly, the body is a symptom, and the infection is contact of three modes of material nature. So that's how we can understand. Kunti Maharani explains this in further shlokas. Avidya kama karma bhi. She says that. Right? When you forget Krishna, we get contact with material modes, and because of the contact, we get further bodies. And what bodies we get, they're all symptoms. Somebody has a very attractive body. Means what? He had done some pious activities in the past. Right? Somebody gets the body of an animal, like cat or a dog. Means what? He has done some sinful activities in the past. So by seeing what kind of body a person is getting, he can find out what is the infection. Like based on the symptoms of the disease, doctor says it is viral flu, or he says it is corona, or it is, if the eyes are yellow, then he'll say it's jaundice. Right. So based on the symptom, one can know what infection he has got. Similarly, based on what kind of body and what kind of activities a person is doing, we can know that what infection he has got. Satuguna infection or Rajoguna infection or Tamoguna infection. Isn't it? So these three modes of material nature, they act upon us when we forget Krishna. So the soul is also unborn, but when he forgets Krishna, then he becomes contaminated, then he takes birth. Right? So Krishna is also Aja, the soul is also Aja, just like Krishna is Aja. But when the soul comes to this material world, it comes with a material body. But when Krishna comes to this material world, he doesn't come with a material body. He comes in the self same form, spiritual form. Right? This is Rasarashvara also was explaining yesterday how Krishna comes in his transcendental form, which is difficult to understand by your material brain, because Krishna is Vibhu, he is unlimited. And to understand the unlimited with a limited brain is not possible. It's only possible when Krishna reveals. By Krishna's grace, one can understand Krishna. By our endeavor, we cannot understand Krishna fully. So Krishna appears in this world. Now, some people say, yesterday evening shloka, right? Avajananti ma mudha manushim tanumashritah param bhavam ajananto mamupatam. So avajananti ma mudha. Krishna himself says that when I come to this material world in a human form, and people deride me, and they think that I'm also like one among them. I'm also another human being. People criticize me, Krishna says. To such people, Krishna says they are mudha. Mudha means foolish. So sometimes Srila Prabhupada also used to use strong words to criticize people who criticize Krishna. And Prabhupada says it's not my words, it is Krishna's words. Krishna himself is telling in Bhagavad Gita, he's using the word mudha. And in English, mudha can mean many words. And Prabhupada used to use such strong words. So Avajananti ma mudha. Why? Because Krishna conceals himself, his identity from such people. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritah mudho yamna vijanati loko mamajam avyayam. Krishna says, right? Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritah. So Krishna is covered by a curtain of yoga maya. And those who do not have devotion, they cannot go beyond the curtain. And when the altar is closed, you cannot see Jagannath. But when Pujari opens, then we can see Jagannath. Similarly, Yogamaya is covering Krishna's true identity. And when Yogamaya reveals Krishna, then we can see Krishna. Otherwise, we cannot see Krishna. So it is in Krishna's hands to reveal himself or not to reveal himself. So that's why we see that even when Krishna was present on this planet, many people could not understand Krishna. All those Krishna was present in front of their eyes. Can you name some people who could not understand Krishna? Duryodhana. He could not understand. Although Krishna showed Vishwarup darshan to Duryodhana, still he could not understand. He thought he's a magician. Catch this magician. That's what he thought. But same thing when Krishna showed to Arjuna, Arjuna said, "Hey, you are supreme personality of Godhead." Krishna accepted. Arjuna accepted. Arjuna had no doubts. Actually, Arjuna had no doubt, but still, for people in this world, so that in future they should not ask question whether Krishna is really God. So to convince them, Arjuna requested Krishna to show this universal form. But same Duryodhana, same thing could not understand. Even Dhritarashtra also could not, right, understand Krishna's real identity, right? So another important point comes here. Prabhupada says, don't try to see Krishna, try to serve Krishna in such a way that Krishna would like to see you. So this is a very important principle we can try to follow. Because seeing is not always believing. Whatever we see may not be true. Our perceptions may be false. So that's why seeing is not important. Serving Krishna is more important. One person came to Srila Prabhupada and asked, he was an interviewer. Generally, they come with camera and mic. Swamiji, have you seen Krishna? That is a very tricky question. And if you say yes, then they will ask, show me. And if you say no, then they will say, you have not seen and you're speaking so much about Krishna. So Prabhupada knew that this is a trick. And Prabhupada said, how does it matter to you if I have seen Krishna or not seen Krishna? If I say that I have seen Krishna, will you believe me? And he'll not believe. So it's Srila Prabhupada's personal experience. He is seeing Krishna, but we may not be seeing Krishna. But he has experienced. And he is experiencing Krishna, telling about Krishna. That is truth. But other people, because they don't have experience of Krishna, they doubt. Whether it is really true or false, they keep doubting. But for pure devotees, they are experiencing Krishna, they know Krishna. Even for Devaki and Vasudeva, they saw Krishna. Krishna was present in front of their eyes. Kechadahu rajam jatam punya shlokasya kirte. So they came to glorify, Krishna came to glorify devotees. And especially here, Yadu's name is mentioned, but we can extend it to Devaki and Vasudeva also. As the next shloka says, Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachitopyagat Ajastvam Asya Kshemaya Vadhaya Suradvisham. So Krishna came to glorify Vasudeva and Devaki also, because in the previous life they had performed austerities. As Prithni and Sutapa, they had performed austerities to get Krishna as their son. So, and Krishna personally appeared. So this beauty of Krishna is a compassion of Krishna, that he is ready to become a son of his devotees and be controlled by them. Right? Now, God gives his godhood and becomes a small child and uh, becomes controlled by his devotee. The controller of the entire universe, he becomes controlled by his devotees. This is very bewildering. Gopyadade tvai krita gasidamatava yate dashasrukalilan janasambраmaksham vaktram nineya bhayabhavanaya sthitasya tamam vimohyati bhirapi yadviveti. In one of the previous verse, Nityam already mentioned that Krishna, you are fear personified. Means death even fears you. But you are fearing whom? Stick in Yashoda's hand. And seeing the stick in Yashoda Mata's hand, what Krishna is doing? He's putting his head down Vaktram Niniya Bhayabhavana Sthitase. He is fully fearful. Right? Rudantam Muhur Netra Yugam Brujantam. He is crying, seeing stick in Yashodamaya's hand. Now this scene was seen by Kunti Maharani because Acharyas explained that Kunti Maharani happened to go to Brindavan for Deepavali festival to celebrate there, and she happened to witness this Damodar Leela. And after seeing that Damodar Leela, she is telling, Tamam vimohyati bhirapyat dhiveti. This scene was very bewildering for me because Kunti Maharani knows Krishna's position as God. Yashoda Maya doesn't know Krishna as God. That's the difference between Kunti's love for Krishna and Yashoda's love for Krishna. Yashoda's love for Krishna is the highest. It's like pure Vatsalya. And the next is Devaki's love for Krishna. That's Vatsalya is there, but that's mixed with Aishwarya because she knows Krishna also to be the Supreme Lord. Because when Krishna was born, Krishna appeared in this world. Krishna appeared as four-handed Vishnu Murti. And then he transformed into two-handed boy in the lap of Devaki. That's explained in 10th canto. Tamadbhutam Balakam Ambujekshanam. At the Adbhuta Balaka appeared uh, in the what is it called Karagraha of Kamsa, and Chaturbhujam, and he appeared in four-handed form. Shankha Gada Yudha Yudham. Yes, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, all the four hands having four weapons. Kiritinam, he had a Kirita, he had Kundal, and he had Mala. So he appeared like that. So Devaki had the knowledge that Krishna is Supreme Lord. And Kunti, her love was, like you can say, Kunti, Devaki, and Yashoda. Yashoda is the highest. Of course, all the love is complete. You cannot, you can say, if there are three glasses, one glass is half liter, and there is 1 liter and is 2 liter. All are full. So they're all full. Love of Kunti Maharani is also complete, and love of Devaki is also complete, perfect, and Yashoda's love for Krishna also complete and perfect. But that intensity is more, right? That intensity of devotion, love is more and more and more. It becomes more thicker. Like milk is also milk, rabdi is also milk, peda is also milk. All three are milk, but it is more thick, thick, and thick. So in nectar of devotion, it's called as Sandrananda, condensed, intense love. So when love becomes more and more thick, it becomes more and more sweet. So that's how these rasas which are there, Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, they're all complete, but there is difference in intensity, difference in moods. So, so Krishna comes to glorify his devotees, and especially Yadu Maharaj, because Yadu Maharaj was also a great devotee. He was son of Yayati. Yayati Maharaj had many sons, and Yayati Maharaj had very much attraction to sense gratification. So when he was cursed, he he said that my enjoyment is not yet over. I'm not satisfied. I want to enjoy more. So he wanted to exchange his old age. So at that time, he asked his sons. Generally, if father wants to get some work done, he asks his sons only. So he asked, can one of you exchange? So when he asked Yadu Maharaj, he said, no, I don't want to exchange. He had four sons, Yadu, Puru, Turosu, and Druhyu, four of them. So three of them refused and one accepted. Puru accepted and others refused. So of course, two other sons refused because they also wanted to enjoy. He said, we are also young, we want to enjoy. How can we give it to you? Will not exchange. But Yadu Maharaj also refused, but Yadu's rejection is glorified. Why is it glorified? because his intention was pure. Yadu Maharaj said that I want to also experience this world and come to the understanding that this world is dukkhalaya shashvatam. All this material enjoyment is futile. It is temporary. So that's the realization you wanted to come to. Right? There are some people who already have realized that this world is miserable and they give up. Right? We see many great sannyasis who just they have no desire to enjoy this material world. They just give up this material world. Like when you see the sixth canto of Bhagavatam, when Narada Muni went to Haryashvas and Shodasvas. So to the Haryashvas, he mentioned that uh, he told the analogy of this material world, that how it is full of misery. So he told the nature of this material world. Just by hearing Haryashvas, they became renounced and they went to do tapasya in the forest and they never returned home. So some people are ready, but many people they need to uh, experience and then understand, right? So first highest category is just by hearing one comes to the understanding. Okay, he hears and understand. He doesn't have to experience also. And second category is those who hear, experience it, and then they understand. Yeah, what I've heard is correct. Right? Like in chemistry laboratory, we used to have this experiment, burette. Right? You take an acid and keep putting drops. At particular time, its color changes. In classroom, when we hear, we think, "Arey, aise kaise ho sakta hai?" But when you actually go and do experiment, you understand. Okay, that is true. So when they do experiment, they get more faith in the theory, right? But those who are very advanced scientists, they just hear and they understand. Okay, this is true. This must be true. So first level is hear and understand. Second level is hear, experience, and then understand. And third level is hear, experience, but still doesn't understand. So materialistic people are like that. Right? They experience material science certification, they suffer, but they still don't want to give it up. They think maybe I didn't try it properly. Let me try another way. Right? Like we gave the famous example of 25 paisa circus. So there was a 25 paisa circus which came in this town, and then there was a big line. And the condition was people have to enter one by one. Jumbo circus. One man show. One person, one show for one person. First person went inside and he was very excited. And then two big pahalwans are sitting there. And then the person said, "Start the circus. I want to see." Acha, will take. So they caught his collar and then beat him, thrashed him thoroughly. And then he said, "What are you doing? I came to see circus." "Ah, this is circus. The circus is this only, being beaten." And after that, he got shocked. I said, leave me, I want to go." And they left him. Yeah, again, tightened his shirt and collar and put his tie and then combed his hair, put a cover on his face because eyes had become red. So he went outside and everybody was waiting. "Arey, kaisa tha? How was the circus?" What should he say? Actually, in this world, nobody wants to speak the truth. So he said, why he thought, why should I only suffer? Right? All these people should get beaten up. And then he said, "First class, 5-star circus. All of you go one by one." Yes. Then they got more excited. Yes, we will go. Then a second person went. He also got beaten up. When he came out. But then second person was thinking, first person said it is very nice. How is it that so second person came out, then others asked, "How was the movie? How was the circus? Nice?" "Yeah, yeah, very nice. You go." Because second person was doubtful. First person said it is nice, but my experience was bad. And the third person goes inside. He also gets beaten up, but he comes outside. He's also confused whether my experience was real or what? Because the first person said it was very nice. So like this, one by one, everybody was getting thrashed. And person who had got thrashed, he came outside and he was observing other people coming out. And others were telling, those who came coming out, they were telling, hey, circus bahut acha tha. Hey, tumka, what show did they show you? They started discussing about themselves. And person who had got beaten up, he started getting confused. Maybe I should go again. This time I'll have better experience. So this is what is material world. Everybody is getting beaten up, but everybody is thinking, they think that they are happy because they see that other people showing that they are happy. In this way, he has hope against hope. Putrashisha Shruti Sukha Mrigatrishni Rupa. Prahlad Maharaj says, actually, he is uh, telling very clearly, in this material world, is telling very clearly, there is no happiness, there is only search for happiness. Putrashisha Shruti Sukha Mrigatrishni Rupa. Everybody has heard कि happiness है दुनिया में but किसी ने experience नहीं किया है. Just like in the desert, people have seen water, but they have not touched water. They go near, but the water goes somewhere else. Just like a mirage. Putrashisha Shruti Sukha Mrigatrishni Rupa Kvedam Kale Viram Idam Ashesh Rujam Viroha. He says that this material body, we think that it is a place of great happiness, but actually it is Ashesh Rujam. It is the bhandar of unlimited diseases. Allah Maharaj defines it. Nirvidyate natu jano yatapiti vidvan. Kamalam Madulavai Shamayan Durabai. Another analogy is the happiness in this world is like licking a drop of honey. But we want a full jar of honey, but we get search for happiness, but we get only a drop. Imagine that you in the material world, in the desert, suppose you're in a desert and you're very thirsty and looking for water, but there's no water. Somewhere you get one drop of water. Can it satisfy? Right? So Tatala Shaikate Vari Bindu Sama. Vidyapati, he sings a song where he says that happiness in this material world is like drop of one drop of water which cannot satisfy our thirst. But Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, ocean of nectar. Right? Ekho na bhakati bale Krishna prema sindhu jale. Thako, what is that verse? Thako tumi Krishna. He's telling that Ekona bhakati bale Krishna prema sindhu jale. Anayase thako tumi Krishna dhina. He says that in this material world you are suffering so much. Why not try? Ekana bhakati bale. Just try this devotional service. And if you feel relief, continue. If you don't feel relief, go back to material world. No problem. So that's what Acharyas are giving us an opportunity. So ISKCON temples can be compared to an oasis in the desert. In the desert, if you come to an oasis, there's water and there's some trees and plants, you feel great relief. So similarly, when people of this material world who are scorched by the heat of tapatrayas, when they come to the ISKCON temples, they take darshan of the Lord, they participate in kirtan, they hear Krishna Katha, they take Krishna Prasadam, and what happens? Cool. We become relieved from the heat of the sufferings of this material world. So that's why ISKCON temples are like oasis in the desert. Right? I was talking about Yadu Maharaj. He wanted to experience his world, then come to the understanding this world is miserable. But if he gives his youth to his father, then how can he experience? So that's why he told his father very humbly, Father, I cannot give. please excuse me. Father is very unhappy with this. But when he went to Puru gave his youth, and Yati became again young. Then he enjoyed for 1,000 years. And after 1,000 years of enjoyment, Yati's realization was he calls his wife once and he says, my dear wife, I wasted my life. 1,000 years I wasted. Now I want to surrender to God. And wife also says, yes, I also want to surrender to God. I'll follow you. And Yati and his wife Devayani both completely surrender to Krishna and they become great devotees. So then in Yati's Vamsha, Yati Yadu Maharaj Vamsha, Krishna appeared. So this is how ninth canto ends and 10th canto begins. Yati's story is at the end of ninth canto. And after that, Yadu Maharaj story and other kings come, then finally Krishna comes. Right? Another verse, another line here is Malaya Seva Chandanam. Malaya Parvat becomes famous because of Chandan. Chandan is very famous, right? Everybody, especially all the temples, they need Chandan because it's one of the main offerings to the Lord, especially in the summer season. It's very cooling. So Chandan is very costly. This much may cost you 1 lakh rupees also. Very costly. So because it's very expensive, very costly, it's very valuable. So the place where it grows also becomes valuable. So Prabhupada says that Malaysia is a place where a lot of sandalwood is growing. So that's how Malaysia became famous. And Srila Prabhupada says that it was Kunti Maharani's time. 5,000 years ago also Malaysia was called as Malaysia, Malaya. Even though it is retaining the same name. So there also Vedic culture was there. So Malay Seva Chandanam. There's another Malaya in southern India. So that's all there also. We call it as Gandha Gudi, Kannadaduru, where a lot of Chandan grows. And that's also famous because of Chandan. Similarly, whole Yadu Vamsha or Vrishni Vamsha became famous because Krishna appeared in that world. Vrishni Vramsha Pradipaha, right? Kulshekar Maharaj says Krishna is like the Pradipa in Vrishni Vamsha, who illuminated or glorified the Vrishni Vamsha, right? So Malay Seva Chandana. Srila Prabhupada also says that there is one perfume called what is that called? Cologne. How do you pronounce it? Cologne? Cologne. Actually, it's a place in France, and that's the place where it was first produced, and then that became famous. The place became famous because that was perfume was produced there first. Right. Similarly, Malaya became famous because Chandan grew. Similarly, Yaduvamsha became famous because Krishna appeared in that place in their Vamsha. Reading today's verse, we see that Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachitobhyagat Ajastvam Asya Kshemaya Vadhaya Cha Suradvisham. So Devaki and Vasudev in their previous life they performed tapasya as Prishni and Sutapa. And being pleased with their tapasya, Lord Krishna appeared. Here we see that Devaki and Vasudeva wanted Krishna as their son. But there is another example of Atri Muni who wanted a son like Krishna. There's a difference between that, both. Wanting Krishna as son and wanting a son like God, like Krishna. There's a difference between both. Because if Devaki and Vasudeva wanted Krishna as son, Krishna personally came. Right? But in case of Atri Muni has wanted son like God. So Atri Muni's devotion is considered to be inferior to Devaki and Vasudeva's. Right? So in case of Atri Muni, when he did tapasya, all three came because he also didn't know who is Supreme Lord. Oh Lord, oh Lord of the universe. So please appear. When he prayed like that, all three came. Brahma came, Vishnu came, Shiva came. Then he said he was confused. So whom did I call actually? Who was the person whom I called? Hey, you called the controller. We three or controllers. We three or all three came. He said like that. And then Hatriman said, I want son like you. So then he got three sons. one from Brahma, one from Vishnu, one from Shiva. So three sons were born: Soma, Durvasa, Dattatreya. Three sons were born to Atri Muni. But in case of Devaki and Vasudeva, Sakshat Krishna personally appeared to them. Devakyam Yachitobhyagat Ajastvam Asya Kshemaya. For the welfare of Devaki and Vasudeva, you came. Devaki and Vasudeva, from their life also we can learn many lessons. That getting Krishna as son is not so easy. They had to go through so much. Right? First of all, the day of their marriage was a tragedy. The day they got married, Devaki was about to be killed by Kamsa. Somehow Vasudeva, with his great intelligence, he somehow avoided that calamity, and he gave promise to Kamsa that uh, don't kill. Your the threat is from the child, not from right, not from Devaki. So and that too from the eighth child. So Vasudeva made a promise that I will give you all my sons. Whenever my son is born, I'll give it to you. So you can do whatever you like. So when Vasudeva promised like this, Kamsa believed. Kamsa had full faith. Because Vasudeva's character was like that. That even demons put faith in him. So that is the nature of a devotee. So Vasudeva is glorified like that in Bhagavatam. It was so truthful that even Kamsa believed in his words. And Vasudeva kept his word. And he was put in the jail, and one by one children were born. And he started giving all the children. When he brought the first child, Kamsa actually said, no need, you can take him back because threat is from the eighth child. But then Narada Muni came there, and because Narada Muni was thinking, Hare, how will Krishna appear then? If this like this it happens, then how will Krishna appear? It may take a long time. So Narada Muni wanted to accelerate. He wanted to increase the sins of Kamsa faster and accelerate Krishna's appearance also. So Narada Muni is like catalyst in Krishna's pastimes. He accelerates the pastimes, and he, whenever climax is there, he comes and, and does some uh, speak something by which the whole story takes a turn. So when Narada Muni came and told that anybody can be the eighth child, anybody can be a threat for you. So then Kamsa started killing all the sons one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He killed 6 children. Now Devaki and Vasudeva had to go through all that. Seeing their children being killed in front of their eyes. Actually Kamsa has to take the children and smash on the rock. And it was very painful for them. But Acharyas give a different explanation, which all of you must have heard. That these 6 children who were killed, they were actually um, Shadagarbha Asura. Shadagarbhasura. 6 Asuras. And they are also representing 6 anarthas in the heart. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. And Acharya has explained that when the heart becomes clean of these 6 anarthas, only then Krishna will. So one has to kill all these asuras in the heart. If the heart is dirty, then Krishna will not appear. The heart has to be clean, nirmala, nirmatsaranam sadam. So Bhagavatam will appear in the pure devotee's heart. Similarly, Krishna also appears in pure devotee's heart. Tomara hridaye sada Govinda Vishram. Govinda kahena mura Vaishnava param. So, in the heart of the devotee, Krishna is resting. Govinda Vishram. But in the heart of a materialist, Krishna cannot rest. Because materialist has so many desires. He's telling, I want this, I want this, I want that. So Krishna is always busy fulfilling the desires of materialist. In the heart of the materialist, Krishna cannot take rest. But in the heart of the devotee, devotee wants to serve Krishna, so he always rests. Right? Krishna Murari, Sri Krishna Murari, मम मन मंदिरे रह निषेवी कृष्ण मुरारी श्री कृष्ण मुरारी भक्ति प्रीति माल चंदन तुम नियो है नियो चितनंद जीवन मरण तव पूज निवेदन सुंदर है मनहारी कृष्ण मुरारी श्री कृष्ण मुरारी. Okay. So what devotee is praying here? Oh Lord, come in my heart, stay in my heart. And what I will do? Bhakti, Preeti, Mala, Chandan, I will offer you, I will serve you, I will take care of you, I will worship you. Right? Abhi prema pradeepe, arati tomar, nayana jamuna, jhare anibar. So is calling Krishna in the heart to serve him. But materialistic people, they disturb Krishna. So Krishna cannot be peaceful. So Krishna likes to be in the heart of his pure devotees. So Devaki and Vasudeva, so they went through these ordeals, difficulties, but finally Krishna appeared. And as soon as Krishna appeared, Krishna also tested them. Devotion is tested. Krishna said, now take me to Gokul. And as soon as child is born, generally parents want to have the child, embrace the child, kiss the child, show love and affection. But here Krishna is telling, take me. And Vasudeva agreed. Right? He didn't say Krishna be here. So whatever was the will of Krishna, they were ready to. So that is um, the verse Kim Dussahanno Sadhunam. It's glorifying Vasudeva. What pure devotee cannot tolerate? It says like that. Uh, so they can tolerate anything for serving Krishna. They tolerated the death of 6 children. And they also were ready to tolerate the separation from Krishna, which will happen now. They went and put Krishna in Gokul and they came back. And for 11 years, they never saw their child. They were only hearing news about Krishna because sometimes Vrajavasis come to Mathura and they will tell what is happening in Vrindavan and how one by one demons are coming to kill Krishna and Krishna is killing them. So like they used to get news. They were always in anxiety. And sometimes Nanda Maharaj used to come to Mathura to give tax to come. So at the time, Vasudeva will go secretly meet. How is your son, Nanda Maharaj? How is your son Krishna? Is okay? Indirectly he will ask because he wanted to ask about his son. He cannot say, how is my son? Indirectly is asking, how is your son Krishna? In this way, he is getting the news. So they were in separation for almost 11 years. And finally, after 11 years, Krishna came to Mathura. And for the first time, Devaki and Vasudeva could see Krishna. And there was such ecstasy seeing Krishna. And they saw Krishna in that. And they also saw Krishna in a situation where he was about to be killed. Right? Sangam Gatas Sagraja. They came into the assembly where Kamsa had made all preparations to kill Krishna and Balaram, but some Krishna and Balaram easily killed all of them. And then finally released Devaki and Vasudeva. Devakyam Yachitobhigat Ajastum Asya Kshemaya, for the welfare of, for protecting Devaki and Vasudeva, Krishna appeared. Uh, and then after Devaki and Vasudeva released, Devaki wanted to feed Krishna milk. Krishna drank the milk and Devaki felt great happiness serving Krishna. And Vadhaya cha Suradvisham. Vadhaya means killing. Suradvisham means demons. Right? And many Sura means actually Devatas. Suradvisham means those who are envious of the Devatas or devotees. Right? So Krishna came to kill them. Yeah. It is already declared in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord appears for the welfare of all people of the world and to vanquish the asuras or the materialistic atheists. Paritranaya sadhunam विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम् धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. So, another verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. एतेषां शकला पुंसः कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकम् मृडयन्ति युगे युगे. Right? So whenever Indra becomes Vyakul because of his enemies, Indra, Ari, Vyakulam Lokam, Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. And every Yuga, Krishna comes to protect the Devatas or his devotees. So that is Krishna's compassion. So in these verses, we will see that Krishna is coming. Kunti Maharaj is explaining the reasons why Krishna comes to this world. One more point from the previous purport was Punya Shlokasya Kirtaye. That Punya Shloka also refers to Yudhishthir Maharaj, King Yudhishthira. So Krishna came to glorify Yudhishthira Maharaj to establish Yudhishthira as the king. Yudhishthira Maharaj did not want to fight the battle. But who wanted to fight? Krishna said, fight. You have to fight now. Right? Arjuna didn't want to fight the war. Who wanted to fight? Made him fight? Krishna. Tasmattam uttishta yasho labhasva. Krishna is telling, uttishta, get up. Yasho labhasva. Right? And kill all these enemies in this battle of Kurukshetra. Now, you may say, why Krishna is doing all this? Because he wanted to do Dharma Samsthapan, right? And how will Dharma Samsthapan happen? When people like Yudhishthira Maharaj will become the king. So to do that, Krishna made the whole Kurukshetra battle, right? And he, of course, he didn't fight, but he was the main person behind the whole fight, right? In fact, Krishna in the 11th chapter of Gita already told Arjuna that, hey, Arjuna, after this battle, nobody is going to remain. Right? Nobody is going to remain. So what is that verse in Gita? Right? Ritepi tvam no bhavishyanti sarve. Ritepi tvam no bhavishyanti sarve says, except you five Pandavas, nobody will remain. All the 11 Akshvani Kaurava Sena and 7 Akshvani Pandava Sena will be completely destroyed, including the sons of Pandavas, sons of Kauravas, everybody will be killed. That already Krishna told in Bhagavata 11th chapter. And he said that only you 5 will remain. And of course, 2, 3 more were there, like Ashwathama, Kripacharya, Satyaki, few people remained. And rest all were killed. So this was a kind of intense battle which happened. And Krishna orchestrated this just to see that Yudhishthira Maharaj becomes the king, and so that Dharma will again prevail. Because under the rule of Duryodhana, a lot of adharma was spreading. Because Duryodhana being having friends like Shakuni, Karna, Jayadratha, and all these people, they are doing a lot of havoc. Can you imagine if in their own assembly, if they are insulting Draupadi, what more could have done if he had continued to be remaining the king, right? So such was the situation at that time, and Krishna wanted Yudhishthira Maharaj to be the king. So that's why he orchestrated. So Punya Shlokasya Kirtaye. To glorify Yudhishthira Maharaj, he did this. He came and he orchestrated this battle. And Yudhishthira Maharaj also in reciprocation, he wanted to glorify Krishna. There's a competition between devotee and Krishna. Krishna wants to glorify his devotee and devotee wants to glorify Krishna. Now Krishna wanted to make Yudhishthira the king, and what Yudhishthira wanted? Yudhishthira wanted to show to the whole world that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Even before the battle of Kurukshetra, in Indraprastha, Yudhishthira Maharaj organized a great sacrifice. What is the name of that sacrifice? Rajasuya Yajna. So he organized this, and it's very costly yajna. Requires, I don't know, in the current calculation, it requires billions or trillions of dollars to do one yajna. And at that time also, Yudhishthira Maharaj didn't have that facilities. He told Arjuna, go to Himalayas and get gold. So Arjuna went and got lot of gold. So then he became famous as Dhananjay. Dhananjay means one who gets wealth, one who got a lot of wealth. And with that wealth, Yudhishthira Maharaj arranged this yajna. And it was like Yajna Kunda itself was several acres of land, and best of the sages had come there, Saptarishis had come there, even Sakshat Brahma and all the Devatas, Indra, everybody was there in that assembly. Such was the yajna. And kings from all over the world, they had come. Even Kauravas also came. Everybody came. And the culmination of this Rajasvi Yajna is that after the Yajna is over, one person in the assembly should be glorified. That's called Agra Puja. The topmost person in the assembly should be glorified. He should be worshipped. So, and Yudhishthira was waiting for that moment because he wanted to glorify Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. To do that, Yudhishthira Maharaj took lot of labor to organize these yajnas so that ultimately Krishna can be glorified. So, devotee wants to glorify Krishna and Krishna wants to glorify his devotee. This competition is happening. But in that assembly, it was not so easy to glorify Krishna because there are opposing elements. Many people are opposing. Of course, Yudhishthir, Bhishma also declared, yes, Krishna should be worshipped as a supreme. But there are people like Duryodhana and especially Shishupal. Shishupal was so envious that in the assembly, right in front of Krishna, he started blaspheming Krishna. So, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 99, 100. He continuously glorified 100 because Krishna had given a boon to Shishupala's mother that I will not kill him. But if he crosses 100 blasphemies, then I will kill him. So when Shishupal crossed 100, then Krishna took his chakra and killed him. And of course, he killed in such a way that not even a drop fell, because if drop of blood falls, then it contaminates the yajna. So he killed in such a way that not even a drop fell. And after that, Agra Puja is offered to Krishna, and then Krishna becomes celebrated as supreme personality of Godhead. And later on, in reciprocation, Krishna made Yudhishthira Maharaj as the king of Hastinapur, and he took a subordinate position under Yudhishthira Maharaj. He established Yudhishthira as the monarch, and Yadavas or Dwarka was like subordinate to them. So that's how Krishna glorified Yudhishthira Maharaj. And whenever Krishna meets Yudhishthira Maharaj, he used to come and offer obeisances to Yudhishthira Maharaj. The kind of reciprocation is happening between Krishna and his devotee. So these are some of the purposes why Krishna comes to this material world. Right. So I'll just summarize. Right. The unborn takes birth. Kechidahu Rajam Jatam. The unborn takes birth. And we discussed this in detail about how Krishna, when he appears, it is not ordinary birth, it is transcendental birth. It comes in the self-same body, transcendental body. But when we appear with a material body, and we are contaminated with the modes of material nature, but Krishna is not contaminated. And he comes to glorify his devotees, and especially devotees like Yadu Maharaj and Yudhishthira Maharaj, and also Devaki and Vasudeva, right? And Malasya Chandanam, and wherever Chandan is there, that place becomes famous. Similarly, Krishna appeared in Yaduvamsha, so Yaduvamsha became famous. And today's verse, we discussed how Devaki and Vasudeva went through a lot of difficulties and finally got Krishna as their son. Similarly, if you also want to get devotion for Krishna and we want Krishna to appear in our heart, then we also have to endeavor purify our heart, get rid of all the anarthas, and Krishna will appear. So ajastamasya kshemaya vadhaya cha sradisham. So Krishna comes to protect his devotees and to kill the demons and reduce the burden of the earth. Hare Krishna. So these are some of the thoughts which I wanted to share. I also shared one point that ISKCON temples are like oasis, and people are suffering in this world, and we should give opportunity to all the people to come, take advantage. So under the guidance of His Narayana Chaitanya Guru, our cultural center is growing, expanding. So we have more and more opportunity for more and more people to come and take benefit. So within next few months, our center will be inaugurated, and then we'll have more people flocking in. I think we should get ready to make this oasis more attractive and more vibrant with a lot of nectar. So that nectar means Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan. So then anybody who comes here will also be able to experience that relief from material sufferings. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any comments, Prabhuji? You have any mic?
Any questions?
Not working.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful class and the summary. Just for doubtful, like because Jai Vijay took birth as three lives in 3 lifetimes. One is actually Ravana Kumbhakarna, and Hiranyakashipu Hiranyaksha, and Shishupala Dantavakra. That's what we hear. And in the first 2 lives, like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu were shown very strengthy and valor. They're very powerful, and whereas Shishupala was actually like unmatchable. But I mean, he's actually with the words. Actually, he was attacking Krishna, not in terms of strength. Actually, so I mean, Lord wanted to enjoy the the Virya Rasa. That's what we hear from, why they took as an opponent. So how do you understand this? And also Dantavakra, I don't remember seeing or hearing any pastimes or.
There is in Krishna book, there is a chapter, Killing of Dantavakra.
Okay.
Right? There is a chapter, Killing of Dantavakra. Not much details are there, but he just killed Dantavakra, and after that he visited Vrindavan also. Jiva Goswami says that he just went nearby because it was very close to Vrindavan where he killed Dantavakra, and he goes, meets, and comes like that. Description is there, and of course Dantavakra description doesn't come much, but he's there at the chapter there. And regarding the rasa, yeah, because Satyuga demons were also more powerful, and then Treta Yuga demons become a little less powerful, and but the Dwapar Yuga even more less powerful, and Kali Yuga there are hardly any demons as powerful as previous yugas. So the strength also keeps reducing. Maybe in that sense you can say that Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they're controlling even the other higher planets also, right? Hiranyakashipu even acquired the chair of Indra. But Ravana wanted to go to Swarga, wanted to build a bridge, but he could not. He was not allowed. He had an ambition to make a bridge. Right? So as yugas progress, that strength is also reducing. And in terms of rasa, I have not heard any acharyas commenting about that. Whether Krishna wanted to hear that blasphemies and experience that rasa and then kill him, I'm not so sure about it. Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. There is a request that all of you stay back. There are some announcements here.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Let's just chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra once for Prabhu says purification. We have a few announcements today. We have 4 sponsors for today's Sunday feast. One is Ashwin Prabhu for in the memory of his father J.K. Krishna Rao. Then we have Sudanva Prabhu which is for his birthday. Then we have Gopal Reddy Prabhu, and the 4th one is Sankar Shinjpur Prabhu on the occasion of birthday of his daughter Shreya. So we can just chant for all the sponsors. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. We have the famous Pandavan Vijay Ekadashi coming on May 31st. That's on Wednesday. And we'll have the fast breaking time the following day at between 5:52 a.m. and 10:09 a.m.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಬರುವ ಬುಧವಾರ ಪಾಂಡವ ನಿರ್ಜಲ ಏಕಾದಶಿ ದಿನ 31ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಮೇ ಮರುದಿನ ಪಾರಾಯಣ ಸಮಯ 5:52 ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ 10:09.
And we'll have the special nectar feast for the years because we'll be having the association of His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. On Thursday morning, he'll be giving the class. Hari Bol.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಜೂನ್ 1ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಗುರುವಾರದಿಂದ ಭಾನುವಾರ 4ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ನಮಗೆ ರಾಧೇಶ್ಯಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಭು ಅವರ ಸಂಘ ಸಿಗಲಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ, ಇದು ಗುರುವಾರ ಜೂನ್ 1ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಹಾಗೂ ಭಾನುವಾರ 4ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಈ 2 ದಿನ ರಾಧೇಶ್ಯಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಭು ಅವರ ಸಂಘ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದು ಅವರ ಸಂಘವನ್ನು ಪಡೀರಿ. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
And June 4th is a very famous festival, that is Snana Purnima, and on that day again we will have the association of Grace Radheshyam Prabhu.
Okay. ಜೂನ್ 4ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಸ್ನಾನ ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮಾ ದಿನ ಕೂಡ ರಾಧೇಶ್ಯಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಭು ಅವರ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಸ್ನಾನ ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮಾ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ಗೂ ಬಂದು ಮತ್ತೆ ರಾಧೇಶ್ಯಾಮ್ ಪ್ರಭು ಅವರ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೂ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಿನಂತಿ.
You will be getting more details on the WhatsApp group later during the week. Then we have the Pani Hatti festival. We've got so far very poor in registration, so we requested please sign up both online and offline. For offline, you have to go to the accounts department. Please encourage, inspire your friends, relatives, and sign up in big way.
ಇದು ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾನಿಹಾಟಿ ಚಿದಾದಾಯಿ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬ್ರೋಷರ್ ಹಾಕಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ವೋ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆ ಬ್ರೋಷರ್ ಇದೆ, ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದು ನಾವು 1 ದಿನದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ. ನಾವು ಶ್ರೀರಂಗಪಟ್ಟಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವನ್ನ ಆಚರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷದ ಹಾಗೆ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಬಹುದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ನೀವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕೂಡ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು.
And then couple of the important announcements regarding the coupons. Breakfast prasadam will be between 7:15 and 7:45, and this is only for those who are attending the Mangala Aarti. So they'll be getting the coupon during the Shikshashtakam.
ಇದು ಪ್ರತಿ ಭಾನುವಾರ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಮಂಗಳಾರತಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದವರೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಸಾದವನ್ನ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. 7:15 7:45 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂಗಳಾರತಿಗೆ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದವರೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಪನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಕೂಪನ್ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರಸಾದವನ್ನು ಪಡಿಬಹುದು.
And for the Sunday feast lunch prasadam, it will be given only for those who are attending the Srimad Bhagavatam class.
ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಭಾನುವಾರದ ಈ ಭಾಗವತ ಪ್ರವಚನ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಪನ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಕೂಪನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವು ವಾರಗಳಿಂದ ಪುನಃ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಭಾಗವತ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬರೋ ಮುಂಚೆ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಕೂಪನ್ ಪಡೆದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಜಗನ್ನಾಥಾಷ್ಟಕಂ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಸಾದನ ಆ ಕೂಪನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಪಡಿಬಹುದು.
Today's Jagannatha will be sung by the Matajis, and before that we have a small felicitation ceremony. This is organized by Ganesh Pai Prabhu. This is to distribute certificates of in academy.
Okay. ಈಗ ನಂತರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಜಗನ್ನಾಥ ಅಷ್ಟಕಂ ಹಾಗೂ ಆರತಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಮುಂಚೆ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾದ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇನ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಣೇಶ್ ಪೈ ಪ್ರಭು ಅವರು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಕೋರ್ಸಿನ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ಸ್ ವಿತರಣೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇತ್ತು. ಗಣೇಶ್ ಪೈ.
Thank you, Prabhuji. 8850 car is just blocking the way. If they can just take the car out. 8850 car number. Anybody's car over here? 8850. It is just blocking near the AVS apartment. It's a white car.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So thanks for being and waiting after the Bhagavatam class as well. So my name is Ganesh Pai, and we are running a small initiative called In Academy here, along with support from all the devotees of the temple. And maybe I would like to invite Sumohini Mataji to give a little bit more detail by the time she comes. Just wanted to give a little bit of background. I think I gave this when we started this, and that too in the new temple hall. This started few months back, around 6 months back, when we reached out to Bhakti-Rasam Swami Maharaj about how do we really develop skills in the new generation, or a Gen Z that we call right now. And when we were discussing, we came to a conclusion that we need next generation who are equipped with the necessary professional skills which are required for the future. Along with it, we should also have them equipped with the spiritual knowledge. And how do we really blend it? A lot of discussion happened after that, and we got a lot of inputs from Gaurahari Prabhu as to how do we do this. And finally, we came to one conclusion that we'll start with some skill development program in the temple. I'll give a little bit more detail on that. And before that, I just want to hand over to Sumohini Mataji for a quick intro.
Hare Krishna, a warm welcome to one and all on behalf of In Academy and ISKCON Cultural Center for the felicitation ceremony. So we are here with Narahari Chaitanya Prabhuji and Dr. Sanjay Gupta Prabhuji for the facilitation ceremony. I'd request Ganesh Pai Prabhuji to give a quick introduction about In Academy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So if you're able to see my slides, I'm not going to take more time. I know it's a prasadam time right now. I don't want to take more time. So that's why I requested Prabhuji that we'll take few minutes to felicitate all these children who actually finished that one course which lasted for more than 2.5 months. And they learned something new. They didn't learn something which is very obvious in regular schools or obvious in regular colleges. They learn something new, and that's what we want to reward them for. So just a brief about what is In Academy. This is a social initiative to develop next generation innovators and leaders. Now, we're not talking about graduates or postgraduates, which is being taken care by all the universities and colleges. Here we want to develop the leaders, next generation leaders who can create value for the society, not only in terms of their material abilities, also in terms of their spiritual knowledge. Now, why do we need this? I'm going to give brief in 1 minute. If you look at the trend right now and the kind of skills which are being looked at from 2025 onwards, none of them are being taught in the schools or colleges. So you look at the kind of World Economic Forum report, you need skills like creative thinking, analytical thinking, innovation, or even leadership, social influence. All these are the skills which are in demand or which will be in demand once we cross another 2 years. But the question is, are our kids ready for it? If not, what do we do? So if you look at the government initiatives also, our Prime Minister also said that research and innovation should be made the way for living. And he also mentioned that in next 25 years, India is going to be a global innovation hub. Now, if you look at the kind of devotee circle that we have, if you look at the kind of people we have around in Bangalore, I think we can be in the forefront in leading this. And since we have, when we look at our kids, when we talk to them and give them some examples, we give them examples of their own brothers or sisters who have maybe finished their engineering, working on some big companies, and maybe have gone abroad and so on and so forth. The question is, all these people who are elder to them, are they able to impart certain spiritual or moral values to the next generation or not? And many times the answer is no. If so, what do we need to do? And that's the reason we started this initiative, and we said we will give them professional knowledge. Along with it, we will also give them knowledge which is more related from the spiritual perspective. Now, I would not want to get into details of this since we are running out of the time. But again, every school is also getting into this. And if you look at this, now we are the first country, India is the first country to launch design thinking and innovation courses in schools. Now, you may not be surprised if you see these courses in next 2-3 years or 2 years maximum with NAP, because this is already being included in the schools right now in various states. Now, whatever these kids are going to learn here, they will also be learning in detail in the schools in next 2 years. Okay, I think it's not that visible because of the background here. So the main agenda here is that we want to develop from the scriptural perspective, Rajarishis. They should have a good personal development skill on one side. They should have good interpersonal skill on the other side. They should also be good in professional skills like innovation or STEM skills we call as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. When they have the culmination of all of these together, when they have the mix of all of these together, they will be referred by other people. Because if you are only spiritual today, the material realm of the world might not really look at you. And if you're only material today, that's not the way for the life. So you should have a mix of it so that people, the next generation looks at you and say, this is what I want to be. I want to be a kind of, when we look at Yudhishthira Maharaj and say, we want to be like him, because he was a great king as well as he was also a great spiritual being. He led his life to an extent that people can follow him. So that's the whole intent, that we can create more and more social or corporate entrepreneurs with this initiative. And there are 3 levels of skill development programs that we planned here. First being Art of Influence, which is young influencer, and then young innovator and young entrepreneur. All of them are clubbed with interpersonal and personal development skills together. And this time we had first level course, which was young influencer. Today we are going to hand over the certificates to all those kids who finished these courses. And we could see a predominant change in their ability to speak, a predominant change in their ability to influence people. When they came in, a lot of people are not able to even open their mouth. When they had finished, by then they were quite good. I would not say they were the best, but in 2 months they had improved a lot. What all they learned, we started with an intent to develop. In this first level courses, we wanted just them to develop exploration skills. They had to explore what are they good at, and they had to create an influence in an area of social concern. And they did it well. And they also had a kind of pitch statement, which they presented in front of the other mentors, and they were appreciated a lot. All our mentors like Sanjay Prabhu, Sumeni Mataji were all part of it. And then they were also astonished at looking at the kind of pitches that they have given, which I also don't see in my corporate. I work in Mercedes-Benz, I lead innovation there. And I also did not see such kind of quality pitches that our kids have given here. And all this could happen only with all the support from all the great devotees. Bhakti-Rasam Swami Maharaj supported us a lot. And then we got good support from Gauranga Prabhu, and we are also discussing with his secretary right now. Amolila Prabhuji also, the moment we spoke to him, he was very, very impressed and said, no, this is the right way to go. And we had lot of support from Narari Prabhu, and that's the reason we were able to do. That support is certainly necessary when from a senior devotee. Otherwise, it's very difficult to keep our own morale, I would say, not others. Keep our own morale, it is very difficult, right? I don't know if I can really play a video out of this or not. Let me just try. Just want to play this. It will be audible or not? Okay, it is not audible. I'll just skip on this to the laptop. No, it won't, because it's connected to HDMI. Okay, so as a next step, what are they supposed to do? Once they have learned Young Influencer program, the next step is for them to learn more on a thinking and innovation skill. And we'll give more details when we interact with the kids. Just an overview of what all things they are going to learn. So in terms of professional skills, they will understand how to think critically. I don't think anyone teaches that. Everyone teaches how to mug things here. 3 days back, I was discussing with director of IISc. We had been there to discuss on a topic. And he was also showing the same concern that in India, somehow we don't have right system of evaluating people. We always evaluate people based on engineered exams like JEE or GATE, which you can clearly understand the pattern and write exams, and finally once you're out of the college, you don't have any crux. So every student has to have a kind of critical thinking and ask every question as to why these things are existing like this. How can I not really change this? So that's all that we're going to cover in critical thinking part, and design thinking methods, innovation models, social communication, how do they really validate things in market. These are all more technical terms, although, but I'll be able to explain to them when I meet them in person, right? In terms of personal development, they'll be learning time management, a bit on career guidance, as well as in terms of interpersonal development, Vedic leadership models, and how to really work in a team. So these are the things which they'll learn in the second set. And we are also planning to have a kind of 4-hour masterclass on journey to success, because Suvarna Prabhu actually suggested that we should do it for all the students who have crossed 12th standard now and who are yet to get into engineering, medical, or whatever. How do we really engage them in understanding the spirituality part of it, as well as the career goal perspective? So that we are planning to have on June 10th. And again, I would also like to invite any Matajis, Prabhujis who would want to be part of this initiative and be mentors here. So we'll be also starting a mentor development program soon. And I would request, if anyone is interested, please reach out to me, Sumohini Mataji, Sanjay Prabhu, Rambu Prabhu, anyone for that matter. Yeah. With that note, I would like to just summarize and say we have 4 things coming up. One is new batches for young influencers coming up, and new batches for young innovator program is coming up. We'll have masterclass for journey to success, and also mentor development program. So all these things, we have single QR code. You can just scan through this, get into the WhatsApp group, and you'll get all the updates into that. So I'll keep this page open for you to scan through. And meanwhile, I would like to request Narari Chetan Prabhu as well as Sanjay Prabhu to come over the stage and then hand over the certificates to students. Yeah. So for all the students, one request: the moment you take the certificate, I would request you to speak for few sentences in terms of what has been your experience. And yeah, both of them, 2 of you can also speak together. That's also fine. Just give a few sentences on what has been your experience and what kind of social problem that you are trying to solve. A little bit of it, don't take much time. As I said, it's a prasadam time. I know in the pictures you have been very kind of elaborate. Don't be so elaborate. So be precise on this. Okay. Yeah. Over to Somoini Mother.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful introduction. Now that's a certificate distribution. So children, Darsh Yogesha, if you are here, please come out to the stage. A big round of applause.
Workshop teaching innovation for a bunch of, and this was really fun. We used to have long interactive sessions in which we used to discuss about how to influence, what is innovation, how to speak, how do you socialize, etc. We used to have an amazing time discussing about different perspectives of different people on the same topic. Not to mention making new awesome friends and a delicious prasadam. I'd also like to thank Rambo Prabhuji, Vishnavardhan Prabhuji, Ganesh Prabhuji, and Sanjay Prabhuji for sharing their insight, experience, and enlightening us with. And I'd also like to thank ISKCON for providing this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Darsh. Next is K.R. Tanav. Tanav. Supreet B.N. Jagannath Kolluru. And Jagannath Sutha. You can speak a few words.
Actually, we also learned how to fish dive, like how
Thank you, Jagannath Sutha.
Looks like I also have to join this study course. Wonderful.
Sridhar Kolluru. Gauranga Panchal. Nishal B. Manohar.
You have to do what you really like. And I learned that when I wanted, when I had everything I wanted, I would like to protect. I would like to protect wildlife. And I also learned how to do public skills. And again, why would I attract your right? I would like to thank Prabhuji, Sanjay Prabhuji, Rambo Prabhuji for doing this class, and ISKCON for like
Thank you. Devesh yes Kumar. Devesh yes Kumar. Suprabha BN. Gauranga Panchal. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Would like to ask Narari Prabhu to say a few words on this. What is your direction further? What do you want us to do? Thank you, Prabhuji. So a few words by Sanjay Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So I'd like to thank Suvarna Prabhu and Swam Prakash Prabhu. Actually, we have had, in between, we have had these moral sessions. And in the first batch, it was more focused on, I would say, material questions and spiritual solutions. And so many questions actually came up, which actually made us think a little bit more deep and understand what kind of thinking that this generation has. So I'd like to ask Suvarna Prabhu to just say a few words on that.
Hare Krishna. So I got one session where we were interacting with the students, and the topic was material problems, spiritual solutions. So just asking the kids, what are the problems you think is bothering you? So somebody said corruption, somebody said pollution, somebody said uh, like air pollution. Somebody were very specific about greed or crimes happening in the society. Like this, about 7-8 points came. Then we had nice discussion about how to solve these problems, and each one of them came with wonderful points, and we listed them down also, and they made solutions, and then and the project was to make an action plan how they were going to implement it, right? So to that deep degree, they were thinking and making a plan for that. So it's a very good age where they not only think about themselves but also think about society and also Krishna consciousness from the Krishna conscious perspective. That's more important. So in this way, this academy is doing good. So all the best. Hare Krishna.
That was a wonderful felicitation ceremony. Now I would like to thank the temple management, parents, the students, and the team of In Academy. And I would request the students to scan here and join the group, or you can come to any of our mentors. You can give your names to Rambu Prabhu, and we'll add you in the group directly. I would request all the students to wait, to stay back. We'll have a group photo with all of you, with the In Academy core team. Thank you.
So special thanks to all the mentors. I would say Sanjay Prabhu, Sumaini Mataji, Rambu Prabhu, Vishnu Prabhu, who's in UK right now, and also Suvarna Prabhu, Swayam Prakash Prabhu. Thanks a lot. It was kind of a team effort that we tried to do, and to be frank, it was just a kind of experiment. Since it was offbeat program, offbeat topic, we were not sure if people will have a good response for it. The kind of reciprocation that all the kids shown, that has really motivated us. Thanks a lot to everyone. So with that note, I would like to thank everyone for patiently sitting here and then listening to all these things and encouraging the kids with your claps. And maybe we should chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. And I would like to request all the students to stay here. Let's have a group photo together. Prabhuji, you have something to say?
So now we will have request all of you.